The Zyrel Syndicate research team hovered above the Forgotten Vault, deep in the wastelands of Sector 9XO. Their small expedition ship floated silently, sensors scanning the crumbling Terran structure below. Dr. Vex Solari, the lead scientist, adjusted his translator implant. "Begin descent," he ordered. The team had found what they believed to be ancient Earth tech, maybe old weapons, maybe junk. Terran ruins like this were scattered across dead zones, long after humanity vanished from the galactic stage. Most were empty. This one wasn't. The vault door was sealed tight, half buried under ice and dust. Strange markings, Terran symbols, lined the outer hull. Some looked scorched, others ... clawed. "Cut it open," Vex said. Plasma torches hissed. The metal screamed. When the door finally cracked open, cold air hissed out. The room inside was perfectly preserved. Lights flickered on by themselves. No power cells attached. No heat source. But still everything lit up. In the center of the room floated a dark armored figure, suspended in a shimmering stasis field. 10 feet tall, heavy armor, no signs of decay, no signs of age. The team froze. "What is that?" whispered Analyst. "Dreen. That's not standard Terran exo armor." "No." Vex stepped closer. "This is something else. Something ... sealed." He activated his datapad. The device instantly shorted out. Sparks flew. All readings flatlined. Even their suits glitched. Then the stasis field cracked. With a low hum, the armored human dropped to the floor, landing like a falling asteroid. It stood slowly, straightening its back, visor glowing red. Everyone took a step back. The figure spoke in perfect galactic standard. Designation: Caliban. Protocol Omega initiated. Silence. Then chaos. The lights went out. Screens echoed through the vault. One by one, the researchers vanished, dragged into the dark. Bodies thunked. Metal twisted. Weapons fired and failed. Dr. Veek tried to run. He didn't get far. A single armored hand gripped his shoulder, lifting him effortlessly off the ground. What are you?" Vec gasped. Caliban didn't answer. His visor dimmed. He dropped Vec to the ground, unconscious. Then the vault itself activated. Ancient. Machines roared to life. Panels shifted. Beacons blinked. A pulse bright, cold, and terrifying shot into the stars. Coordinates locked. Signal sent. Earth. Above the vault. The remaining Zyrel crew aboard the orbiting ship panicked. Something's wrong. We're getting no life signs. The whole base just vanished from sensors. The captain turned pale. Did we wake something up? Before anyone could answer, the entire ship shuddered. Something launched from the surface fast, silent, invisible. To scanners. An escape pod? No. A weapon. Someone. On Earth silent and ignored for centuries. A deep bunker received the pulse. Buried beneath miles of rock, old systems rebooted. Monitors lit up. An old man in a dusty military uniform stared at the screen. His eyes widened. His hands trembled. "It's alive," he whispered. "God help us all." Suspense. Who built Caliban? Why was it sealed? Why was Earth prepared for this moment? And most importantly, what is Protocol Omega? Sector Command was silent. Inside the command hall of Zyrel Syndicate's research fleet, the mood had shifted. What was once a simple dig site now felt like the edge of a war zone. A technician raised his voice, panic in his tone. "Commander Vroll, we've lost all signals from Vault 9XO. No power. No response. It just went dark." Vroll, a veteran of 2 galactic wars, leaned forward. His dark green skin glistened with tension. That base had over 60 personnel. Full surveillance. How do we lose it in under 3 minutes? No one answered. Inside the vault to 5 hours earlier, Caliban stood, still in the dark. The Zyrel researchers, those who had survived the first surge, were scattered. Some tried to escape. Others simply hid. But none dared to approach the figure. Standing at the center of the room, he was tall, almost 7 feet, armored in black metal, pulsing with strange blue veins of energy. His helmet showed no face, only a red glowing slit where eyes might have been. One brave engineer crawled forward, whispering, "What are you?" The figure turned its head. Protocol Omega. Containment compromised. Authority revoked. Then Caliban moved. The cameras didn't catch much. Only quick flashes of movement, short bursts of energy, and screaming. Then, static. Back on the command ship, Lattervral watched the final recording on a secure screen. He rewound it again and again, trying to make sense of what he saw. "That's not just a soldier," said Lieutenant Corsa, her voice cold. "That's something else, something designed to end wars." "And we woke it up," Vroll muttered. "We woke it up, and now it's sending a signal." Meanwhile on Earth far, beneath the ruins of old Anchorage, buried deep inside a hidden Terran bunker, an alert system lit up red for the first time in centuries. Omega signal received. Caliban status active. Engage. Phase 1. Return to origin. Steel doors began to shift. Lights flickered in tunnels unseen for generations. Somewhere, something woke up on Earth. Aboard a Zyrel rescue cruiser, the Syndicate wasn't ready to give up on the vault. They sent a rescue cruiser toward Sector 9XO, hoping someone survived. Young pilot named Reckel watched his sensors flicker. "We're approaching the last known coordinates. I'm picking up heat signatures. Wait, just one. Moving fast." "Fast?" a captain asked. Reckel nodded. "Too fast. It's coming straight at us." Before anyone could react, their screens turned white. An energy blast struck the ship's engines, shutting them down instantly. And then Caliban appeared on the viewing deck. He had no ship, no visible propulsion. He just hovered watching them. One of the bridge crew whispered, That thing isn't a soldier. It's a weapon." Final scene, mysterious broadcast across deep space. An ancient Terran relay satellite activated. All throughout the galaxy. Encrypted signals began to broadcast on old military channels' frequencies. No one had used in over 400 years. The message was short. "This galaxy is out of balance. The last key has turned. Omega walks again. All who hear this, prepare." And then silence. Every major government, empire, and fleet heard it. No one understood. It. Except Earth. And Earth was already preparing to welcome Caliban home. The Zyrel Syndicate didn't take losses lightly. Within hours of the blackout on Sector 9XO, the High Command dispatched a full military investigation fleet, 20 warships, hundreds of soldiers. The Syndicate's elite black unit, their orders were clear: recover the vault, recontain whatever was inside, erase all evidence. Admiral Vareth stood on the command deck of the dreadnought Tyrant's Hand, watching as the station came into view. The base looked intact. Lights still glowed. No signs of a fight on the outside, but not a single response came from the surface. He leaned forward. "Initiate contact again." The comms officer tapped the controls. "Broadcasting to all frequencies. Still nothing, sir." No replies. Not even an auto beacon. Vareth's face darkened. "Something is wrong." He turned to his second. "Prep. A landing team. Maximum force." The black unit deployed in minutes. 10 dropships launched, each filled with armored troopers, mechs, and recon drones. They landed at the vault's surface entrance, which remained strangely open. No resistance. No defenses active. Not a single shot fired. Commander Ilvalk of the Black Unit stepped out, pulse rifle ready. Squads Alpha through Delta. Move in. Eyes open, sweep and clear. I want every corner scanned. They advanced through the silent halls. Blood on the walls, claw marks on metal. A smell of ozone, something burnt. Then they found the control. Room. Smashed. Screens cracked. Corpses half fused with the floor. One officer was still sitting upright, except the back of his skull was gone. Like something had reached through him. Ilvok spoke into his helmet mic. Command, this is Black Unit. We've got fatalities. All station crew presumed dead. No signs of resistance. No signs of the intruder. Continuing sweep. But what none of them noticed was the figure on the far security monitor, just a glimpse, moving in the shadows, watching, tracking. Meanwhile, deep below the vault, Caliban stood inside a sealed chamber, surrounded by ancient Terran, machines humming softly. Its eyes were glowing now. Its armor had changed, reconfigured itself. A voice played on an internal loop. Mission restarted. Galaxy. Control sequence in progress. Syncing with Earth Command. On a nearby screen, planetary defense networks began flickering alive Earth systems, long thought dead or waking up again. And at the center of it all was Caliban. Back on the surface, the Black Unit kept advancing. Their scans still picked up nothing, but the silence was too perfect. Then Squad Delta turned a corner and vanished. Not in a fight. Not in a scream. Just gone. Their feeds cut to static. Ilvok barked into the mic. Delta, report. Delta, respond now. No answer. Alpha moved to their last location. The Alpha squad reached the spot and found only armor pieces. Melted, crushed, still warm. Then their lights flickered. Guns jammed. One by one, the lights died. Something moved in the shadows. A soldier screamed. I saw it. It's... Then? Silence. One by one, the squads were picked off. No visuals. No clear enemy. Just the same pattern. Black armor. Glowing eyes. Impossible speed. Something ancient. Something designed for war. Admiral Verith watched helplessly from orbit. The squad feeds cut off. One by one. Static. Then total silence. He stood frozen, gripping the rail. What did they find down there? No one answered. Then. One last feed. Came online for a moment. A soldier. Blood on his visor. His voice shaking. It's not a man. It's a weapon. We thought it was sleeping. It wasn't. It was waiting. Then his voice was replaced by another. Deeper. Clearer. Not human. This system is under Omega control. You will not survive. The feed went dead. Below. Caliban stood tall beneath the Terran flag, now glowing bright on his shoulder plate. He turned toward the ancient Vault's communication tower. And sent a message. Straight to Earth. One sentence. Phase 2. Initiate. Cyrell Syndicate Outpost. Deep orbit. Sector 9XO. The lights flickered across the base. Red emergency strobes pulsed through the silent halls. The vault doors had sealed themselves after Caliban's awakening. The crew left inside. Those who had not yet fled or gone missing moved like ghosts, afraid to speak above a whisper. Dr. Lurian paced near the medical bay, staring at the blackened helmet of the armored human that now sat inside a reinforced containment field. Caliban hadn't moved since returning to the chamber. His armor was motionless, yet scans showed his vitals, if they could be called that, were active. Readings still holding steady, said Medical Officer Revak. He tapped the screen nervously. Pulse, oxygen levels, all within Terran. Norms, but there's something strange. Lurian glanced up. What now? He's not aging. What? I've scanned a dozen times. His cells aren't decaying. His DNA has locking sequences. Regeneration rate is off the charts. It's like he's paused. Lurian's mouth went dry. That tech is impossible. Not even the core worlds can do that. Which begs the question, Revak said slowly. What was Earth doing when they vanished from the stars? Suddenly, the room's lights dimmed again. The monitors flickered. A low hum filled the chamber, as if something below the base had activated. Again? Lurian snapped. Is this another power drain? Revak didn't respond. He was staring. At Caliban, the armored figure was standing. No sound. No warning. Just standing. Watching. Sir, he's moving. Caliban took one step forward. The containment field lit up with electricity, trying to restrain him. He didn't stop. He placed one hand on the glowing wall, and it shattered. Sparks flew. Lights blew out. Alarms screamed. Revak ran. Lurian stumbled back, too stunned to breathe. Caliban stepped out of the containment zone like it was. Made of glass. He turned slowly to the researchers and spoke again. Primary objective, unknown. Mission rebuilding? He paused, his head tilted. Mission, humanity. Then the base. Shook. From beneath the floor, strange echoes rose. Metal grinding. Doors slamming shut. Systems crashing one by one. Lurian gasped as her console exploded in sparks. What's happening? An automated voice screamed from the speakers. Warning. Protocol Omega. Defense grid active. Biological scans incomplete. Containment breach. Caliban walked past them like they weren't even there. Doors opened before him without a touch. Lights obeyed his presence. The vault had recognized him. He wasn't a prisoner. He was its master. Far above the outpost. In orbit, a forgotten satellite blinked. And another. And another. They began to rotate, aligning with each other in a pattern no one had used for centuries. Signal launched fast and cold across the stars. Destination, Earth. The Galactic Council Star Watchers on the fringe noticed it first. Signal? From Sector 9XO? That's unclaimed space. Who would broadcast from there? The data streamed. Encoded? Layered? Ancient. Then the message decrypted itself. Omega Caliban online. Humanity. Rising panic erupted across the outer systems. Ships scrambled to investigate, but by the time they arrived, there was nothing left of the outpost, only a floating beacon, pulsing red. The final recording showed a single armored figure standing on the surface as the base collapsed into itself. Watching. Waiting. The vault hadn't just opened. It had unleashed something. And Caliban was just the beginning. Far away from Sector 9XO, deep in the cold silence of space, Earth had gone quiet long ago. No ships flew from it. No signals left its atmosphere. The stars around it seemed to forget even existed, but that changed the moment Caliban activated. Silent ripple pulsed from the ancient Terran vault. A coded burst that skipped across relay beacons, dead satellites, and long-abandoned listening posts. The signal was old ancient, even but it knew its path. It was designed to find only one destination. Earth. In a dark chamber buried under. Layers of steel and rock, an ancient machine blinked to life. Dust lifted from the floor. Red lights glowed behind black glass panels. Old gears turned. Hibernating systems roared awake. The underground base, once known only as Vault Omega, had slept for centuries. Now, it breathed again. Omega Protocol acknowledged. A cold voice echoed in the empty chamber. Level 1 shields disengaged. Systems check. Complete. Command Unit Wraith. REINITIALIZING. Far above Earth's crust. Hidden behind clouds and cloaking arrays, a single Terran battleship powered up. She was called TN's Vindicator. She had been sealed away with one mission: to wait, to listen, to awaken only if he did. Back in Sector 9XO, chaos still gripped the Zyrel Syndicate base. The survivors were scattered, hiding behind blast doors or deep inside sublevels. Their weapons were useless. Their tech failed. Lights flickered, and Caliban walked the halls like a ghost in armor. He didn't speak again. He didn't need to. He moved with precision, scanning walls with strange sensors from his helmet. His armor hummed with low, vibrating energy. He accessed the base's mainframe without touching a console. Data streams poured into his systems. A small drone floated near him. It had been following since the stasis pod opened. "Query," it asked in a mechanical voice. "Why was I activated?" Caliban finally turned to it. "Because war is returning." Zyrel Command, several systems away, watched the situation unfold through fragmentary footage. "Sir," an officer said, face pale, "we've lost full communication with the research team." "Any video feed?" "Just this." She pressed a key. A single clip played. A hallway of the base, lights dim. Footsteps echoing. A blur of black and silver armor. And then static. The room fell silent. The High Commander frowned. "That's no ordinary Terran soldier." "No, sir," the officer whispered. "According to recovered logs, that's Caliban." The name struck like thunder. It wasn't a code. It was a warning. Back on Earth, Vault Omega unlocked its central chamber. Inside stood a tall, gaunt figure with skin like ash and eyes like frozen stars. He was not human, at least not anymore. He was something else. Something Earth created, then feared. "Status," he said in a whisper. "Caliban," the system responded. "Active." The figure's eyes narrowed. "So, the seal is broken." In deep space, sensors across the galaxy began to shift. Earth's silence had ended. Ancient signals began to move. Codes from a lost age of war. Fleets that had once ruled sectors with iron and flame began to stir. Ships that had been buried in asteroid belts blinked online. Dreadnoughts with human flags forgotten. Relics turned toward the stars again. The galaxy didn't know it yet. But Caliban's activation had begun a chain reaction that no one could stop. Ending. Scene. The drone hovered beside Caliban again. "Are you returning to Earth?" Caliban didn't answer. Instead, he looked up through walls, through floors, through stars. "No," he said at last. "I'm bringing Earth to them." And as he walked deeper into the facility, hidden silos opened. Devices the Syndicate had never seen before powered up. Not weapons. Beacons. He was calling something. Not just Earth. Everything Earth had hidden. The skies above Earth shimmered as a strange pulse rippled through orbit. Old satellites blinked. Forgotten defense grids stirred. Deep under the planet's surface, where no map dared go massive, systems powered on. Above, breaking atmosphere, flew the transport ship the Zyrel Syndicate had stolen. With Caliban standing inside, he was calm. Still, silent, but he was watching. Inside the ship, only one Zyrel researcher remained, Kale. He had survived the vault incident only because Caliban had let him. Now he stood trembling near the control panel, unsure whether to speak, run, or drop to his knees. Caliban turned to him slowly. His visor reflected Earth's surface as it came into view. "You're afraid," Caliban said in a low tone. Kale nodded, barely able to breathe. What are you?" Caliban didn't answer. Instead, he placed one hand on the control panel. It glowed red-hot and then spread lines of code like veins across. The ship, every control system, every function, was now under his command. The ship didn't need a pilot anymore. Earth, old Northern Hemisphere command site. Buried beneath Siberia alarms flared. Human Command AI Sentinel Prime reawakened. After 1,042 years of silence, its first words were, Protocol Omega acknowledged. Weapon Caliban inbound. Old generals preserved as digital echoes flashed to life in neural files. Holograms of past Earth leaders flickered in council chambers. Not an ancient voice spoke. If Caliban has returned, then extinction walks beside him. Earth's hidden systems began shifting. Automated facilities rebooted. Weapons older than stars hummed in launch bays under oceans and deserts. Sleeper satellites realigned above. Humanity thought, dead by the galaxy, was waking up. In orbit, Caliban's ship docked without resistance. Earth's station-designated Fortress Black opened with groaning metal. Dust rose. Lights blinked after. Centuries of darkness. As Caliban stepped out, auto turrets scanned him. They didn't fire. Instead, they saluted. Kale followed behind. Heart pounding. The facility systems began syncing with Caliban's presence. A female voice filled the air. Welcome back, designation. Caliban? Earth Command awaits your instructions. Kale finally whispered. Why are they obeying you? Why does this place bow to you? Caliban looked at him. Because I am Earth's final answer. Elsewhere in the galaxy. The Zyrel Syndicate was in chaos. All contact with their stolen ship was lost. Their main research base was now a crater. Leaders argued. Fleets were mobilized. But then, something worse happened. A broadcast was received. From Earth. It was short. Only 3 words. Protocol Omega active. Silence. Followed. Zyrel commanders stared at each other. One of them, General Trev, turned pale. Did he say Omega? A technician stammered, Sir, there's something else, some old human code buried in the message. We're decoding it now. Seconds passed, and a message filled their screens. Return what was stolen, or Earth awakens. Panic erupted. Back. At Fortress Black, Caliban stood before a massive sealed door labeled Vault Zero. Behind it slept machines never seen by alien eyes. Ships that bent space. Cannons that used collapsing stars for energy. Kale followed, still unsure whether he was a prisoner or a witness. You were built to fight? He asked. No, Caliban replied. I was built to end wars. He stepped forward. The vault door began to open with a thunderous grind. Light spilled out. Shadows twisted. Machines hummed to life. Kale fell to his knees as waves of raw energy pulsed out. Caliban looked back once, voice like iron. Earth will rise. The galaxy forgot us. Now it will remember.